Hi, this is Joy at Pine Quilt Shop, and I want to talk briefly today about sewing half square triangles when you're using a method where you're making multiple half square triangles at a time. So the half square triangles that I'm going to show you this morning were made as 2 at a time half square triangles. So I used my quilter's magic wand and I marked a line 1/4 inch on either side of the center of my block, and then I'm actually ready to go ahead and sew. So when you go to sew your 2 at a time half square triangles, you always want to think about whether you're making them oversized and are going to trim them all down, or you're making them to the exact size, because you want to sew differently depending on what you're doing. Now, if I'm making them oversized like this block, I'm going to go ahead and sew, and I used red thread so you guys could see it easily, and I'm going to sew right on top of the line. If I'm making them though to the exact size and not oversized, if I'm making them to exactly the size I need, then I'm always going to sew actually right beside the line. And you want to sew beside the line towards the inside, towards where you're going to actually cut, so basically towards the seam allowance. And you can see that here as well. Rather than sewing right on the line, I sewed right beside the line, and you need that little tiny extra bit of fabric so that when you press your half square triangle open, you come out to the size that you need. It's getting that scant 1/4 inch built in, so that with a little bit of fabric that you lose when you press and you open your seam allowance, that you come out to exactly the right size. So 2 different ways to sew depending on if you're making it oversized or to the exact right size. And this applies to the 8 at a time half square triangle method as well. So just a tip to have your sizing come out a little bit better on your multiple half square triangle construction.